Many of you enjoy getting off the beaten track and exploring the harder to reach parts of WA. There's no doubt though, there's a fine balance. You want to have the tracks and the space, but you also want to protect the environment. Keeping access open was the focus of a talk yesterday from Graham Webber. He's from four-wheel drive and off-road group Take Care WA. Graham, good morning.
G'day Peter, how are you?
Good. Do we have enough off-road tracks, four-wheel drive tracks?
Actually, in WA, I think we do. There are lots of tracks that we can go down and have permission to go down, and we're not very restricted here, but things are changing. And as we get closer to the metro area and get expansion happening that way, we end up having tracks closed very close to Perth, and we end up being pushed further and further away from the city.
Why are they closing down?
One of our biggest problems in the metro area is that when you repressure your tyres after going four-wheel driving, the noise affects the residents in the area. So we had this in the Shire of Wanneroo just recently, and we need to pump up our tyres, but what people are doing is they're doing it at 3:30 in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning after they've been partying out on the beaches, and that's one of our biggest problems.
What about the tracks? How much upkeep do they require, and who's responsible for that?
No one's responsible that we know of. Volunteer groups do that, many four-wheel drive groups. In fact, on September the 2nd, we're doing the Mundaring Power Lines with about 70 four-wheel drive associations going up and cleaning up that track, which is a very popular one in the metro area.
Graham, can a pristine environment and four-wheel drive enthusiasts coexist?
Actually, being a botanist in my background, yes, I can. What we have to do is we have to keep our tracks clean, maintain them, and actually stick to the track. So one of our biggest problems is when a track becomes worn down, people make what they call chicken tracks, and you move and they spread it wider and wider. And that's actually what's causing a lot of the environmental damage with four-wheel driving.
And is it a case that when that environmental damage occurs, then that can lead to arguments to shut down existing tracks as well?
That's exactly it. We have some of that 80 kilometres east of Perth in our water catchment area where people have just damaged the environment almost beyond repair. We're fixing that now. And we get the same sort of thing on the Canning Stock route and around rangelands east of Geraldton.
Graham, you're from Take Care WA. What's the balance here?
I think the balance is responsible four-wheel driving and environmental awareness. So if we're aware that the fairy terns are nesting on the beaches near where people like going four-wheel driving, then basically we recommend people stay away from those beaches during that time. So it really is keeping people up to date with what's going on.
And there's a fortune waiting someone who can come up with an invention to pump up the four-wheel drive tyres without making a lot of noise.
Well, I think there are four-wheel drives that have that. Some of the top-of-the-range ones do, but I can't afford $250,000 for a car.
Hey, Graham, which is your favourite four-wheel drive track of all in Western Australia?
Of all, the one that I haven't been on yet, and that's the Canning Stock route. We are up there 2 or 3 visits per year doing repair work, and that is a fantastic trip. People love it.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Graham Webber, Take Care WA. Are you an enthusiast? Let us know about some of the tracks that you like to enjoy.